What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to the latest Liverpool transfer news video, and this is a very exciting video because L'Equipe, the French newspaper, is claiming that Liverpool have approached Barcelona over the transfer of Ousmane Dembélé, who scored 14 goals last season for Barcelona. So let me know in the comments below, do you want Liverpool to sign Ousmane Dembélé and what would be the fair price for him according to you? I would love to hear your opinion in the comments below, and of course if you enjoy these videos, leave a like. It just takes a second for you guys to press that like button and it really helps me out. And also subscribe, turn on the bell notifications so you never miss the latest Liverpool transfer news. So according to the L'Equipe newspaper and also the Daily Mail and the Daily Express newspaper in England are reporting this as well, that Liverpool have approached Barcelona over a summer move for Ousmane Dembélé, who cost a lot of money for Barcelona, £93 million, and he had a pretty bad first season at Barcelona. He only scored 4 goals in 23 games, but this second season, even though Dembélé had some attitude problems actually, he still scored 14 goals in just 42 appearances, and he's only 22 years old, so the potential for him is huge. And Jurgen Klopp wanted to sign him previously, and actually Dembélé went to Dortmund from Rennes, so I think Jurgen Klopp had an eye on this guy for a long time, and Liverpool wanted Dembélé even before he went to Dortmund from Rennes. We were linked with him at that time, and in the end it turned out to be a great transfer because Dortmund made an incredible profit on him. I think they signed him for like £15 million and sold him for 93 million. What a brilliant transfer business that was from Dortmund. Dembele's poor attitude angered Barcelona officials as he turned up late for training on numerous occasions, according to this report. But Jurgen Klopp is convinced that he can improve Dembele's attitude and he can get the best out of the Frenchman. And according to L'Equipe, Liverpool have initiated contact with Dembele and Barcelona as Jurgen Klopp looks to, of course, sign an attacking player after we lost Danny Sturridge. But it is going to be a difficult transfer because Dembele doesn't really want to leave Barcelona. He wants to prove himself. But I think his attitude problems make it complicated for Barcelona to put a lot of trust in him long term. And Barcelona are very close to securing the Antoine Griezmann transfer, and they even want to sign a Neymar. So if they sign those two players, but even with the Griezmann transfer, they probably need to sell one of their star players, and that could be either Dembele or Coutinho. At the moment there are no real takers for Coutinho. Liverpool are lurking around, but nothing serious has come up yet in that regard. And Dembele has not even been swayed, according to the reports, by Antoine Griezmann's imminent move that will be announced this week or next week, so it's very close. The deal is almost finalized. So Barcelona want to get probably as much as £90 million for Dembele, as something close. They want to recoup as much of the transfer fee if they were to sell Dembele. But according to respected German outlet Kicker, Barcelona have actually transfer listed Dembele, and with Liverpool a serious option. Bayern Munich are also in the running. They are looking for a winger after after Ribéry and Robben left Bayern Munich. And reported by Diario Sport, Bayern have already had an unacceptable €70 million bid rejected by Barcelona, and it looks like that they want, as I said, close to £80–90 million for Ousmane Dembélé. Barcelona are looking to sell Dembélé because they want to finance the moves of Griezmann and Neymar. So this could be an absolutely incredible transfer window for Barcelona, both in and out. And I'm not sure why Barcelona decided to spend £93 million on this guy. I think it was a panic buy because that was the summer where Barcelona unexpectedly lost Neymar to Paris Saint-Germain, who paid Neymar's release clause of like 222 million euros or something like that. So because Dembele only scored 10 goals at Dortmund in his only season and got 22 assists, and that was apparently enough for Barcelona to pay an incredible amount of money. But as I said, that was a panic buy. So Dembele's real transfer value is probably around 50-60 million pounds if you consider that he's a very young player, he has great potential. But Dembele actually missed two sitters in the Barcelona-Liverpool Champions League semi-final, where if Dembele scores one of them, probably Barcelona win 4-0 and they go through to the final, and probably Barcelona would have beaten Tottenham in the Champions League final. So it's a very, I have mixed feelings about this, because I would only sign Dembele for like 60, maybe 65 million pounds, but Barcelona, I don't think they would sell for that amount. I think they want big bucks for Dembele. But the fact of the matter is that even Barcelona are one of the richest clubs in the world, but still they need to sell one of their superstars if they want to sign both Griezmann and Neymar. And even with signing Griezmann, I'm not sure they can afford to keep both Dembele and Coutinho and Griezmann at the club. And also remember that Messi and Suarez also are on big contracts. So Barcelona are in a very difficult situation financially, and they might lower their asking price if Liverpool are patient and wait it out a little bit. And it looks like Bayern Munich's attempt to sign Leroy Sané from Manchester City, it looks like that didn't work out, because Man City, even at like 70 or 75 million pounds, they rejected all of Bayern Munich's offers. So at the moment it looks like Bayern Munich are the #1 front runners for Ousmane Dembélé, but I'm not sure Bayern are willing to pay like 80 or 90 million pounds for Ousmane Dembélé in this summer transfer window. But Paris Saint-Germain could also be interested in this deal, because Neymar apparently wants to go back to Barcelona, and even though Paris Saint-Germain doesn't really want to keep him, would they want to keep Neymar right now, with Neymar having so many injury problems? And also they have Neymar has this rape allegations going on against him, so Neymar's brand or stock is going down every month basically, and maybe Paris Saint-Germain want to get rid of him, and Dembele and money could be exchanged for the services of Neymar. So it's a very complicated transfer situation with Liverpool, Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain all interested in Ousmane Dembélé, but also Barcelona have to sell, they have to generate some funds if they really want to get both Griezmann and Dembélé into the Barcelona squad. So I will keep you updated. I think this will be a very, very interesting, very fascinating transfer story. And we have some other transfer news, but this time it's an outgoing transfer. So according to Football Italia, Bobby Adekanye, who's a Liverpool player, has signed a 4-year contract with Serie A side Lazio. The 20-year-old player has scored 3 times and registered 2 assists for Liverpool youth teams in just 13 appearances, and he has never made a senior appearance for the first team. So we are selling this guy, or I think his contract was up. Yeah, we are not selling him. I'm just reading it that it looks like he is going to Lazio on a bossman transfer, and he's 20 years old, and Jurgen Klopp didn't see enough potential in him to keep him around. But I wish him all the best, because at Lazio he has 2 former players already, Lucas Leiva and Luis Alberto, and Lazio will play in Europe, I think, next season in the Europa League, because they won the Italian Cup, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be an interesting season for Bobby Adekanye, and I wish him all the best. I think he's a talented winger, he has a lot of pace, but he was just never really like fully good enough to play for the Liverpool first team. And if you consider that Liverpool are the champions of Europe, it's very difficult to get into this Liverpool team. So that's not a criticism on how good Bobby Adekanye could be, because many good players couldn't get into this Liverpool side. James Milner gave some good big compliments to Andrew Robertson. This is what he said about our Robbo. He said, and I quote, "I think how good Robbo has been since he has been at the club has been incredible, really. The fans love him. I think it started with that 90-yard press of Man City. He pressed everyone in their team, I think. Went to the keeper and then he did them all again. He's got great quality and he is a good defender. He's good around the dressing room as well. He's good Craig. He means that he has a good sense of humor, and that's the one thing we have got as a team. We have got a great team spirit. You need lads like Robbo. As good as he's on the field, he's brilliant in the dressing room as well. So that's very, very, very good to see, very good to hear. And I'm a huge fan of both Milner and Robertson, who are such great, hard-working professionals who also can play football at the highest level. And I'm just so happy for them that finally all their efforts have been rewarded with a Champions League winners medal. And also big shout out to Alisson and Roberto Firmino. Let's talk about them because they became heroes in Brazil. Alisson made crucial saves against Argentina in the Copa America semi-final to keep his 5th clean sheet in the Copa America, and now he is officially a Golden Glove winner of the Premier League, the Champions League and the Copa America. Absolutely incredible achievement. Alisson is one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and also Firmino scored the 2nd goal and he gave an assist to Gabriel Jesus in the first half as well. So Firmino with 1 goal and 1 assist was one of the men of the match contenders. The other was Alisson, and Messi was absolutely furious after the final. I heard that he was cursing and just criticizing and berating the referee and how the quality of the refereeing and the VAR use was inconsistent. And he has a bit of a point, but I don't really support Argentina. I wanted Brazil to go to the final and to win it because I want the Liverpool boys, Firmino and Alisson, to get another big trophy under their belts this summer, which would be just brilliant. They will be favorites in the final. The other semi-final I think will be today against Chile. Chile will play Peru if I'm not mistaken, so that's going to be an interesting game as well. But Alisson has been just outstanding, and also Firmino in the Copa America has been very good as well, so very happy about that. And let's talk about Mohamed Salah, who is tearing it up at the Africa Cup of Nations for Egypt. He's one of the top scorers of the tournament, and he just scored a magnificent free kick in the final game for Egypt in the Africa Cup of Nations, and they will play South Africa, I think, in the last 16. So good luck to Salah. And according to an expert in African football, as the reigning African Footballer of the Year and one of the biggest names in world football at present, Mohamed Salah is without a doubt is the star of Egypt and the African footballing world at the moment. So this is what this expert said, and I quote, "He's the poster boy in Egypt, appearing on adverts everywhere in the country. Salah has shown as an individual he can cope with pressure, and he demonstrated that when he scored his penalty in the Champions League final, especially in the early stages. There will be little pressure simply because he has played at the highest level before, and he's someone who copes with pressure so well. Let's not forget the penalty he scored 2 years ago in the 95th minute of the qualifier against the Congo that sent Egypt to the World Cup for the first time in 28 years. That was, by the way, just my opinion, one of the pivotal moments in Salah's career, because he was under so much pressure. This expert, who is an Egyptian sports journalist, he's called Ahmed Youssef, he is saying that it would mean the world to the fans of Egypt if Egypt was to win an 8th Africa Cup of Nations trophy on home soil after missing the 2012, 13 and 15 tournaments, and also they finished as runners-up only in 2017. This is what he said: Egypt is a football-mad country, and when the team plays well, the entire nation's mood is very good. It was a huge disappointment not to qualify between 2010 and 2017, but Egypt showed in the last edition that they are still an African powerhouse by reaching the final. Winning it for the 8th time would add more pride to the Egyptian people, who already boast about having 7 titles, more than any other country. And the Champions League final, according to this expert, was huge for Egyptian fans, because they have waited a long time to see an Egyptian win such a major trophy, and it was even more special that he scored in the final after last year's disappointment in Kiev. He became the first Egyptian to score in a Champions League final, and will always be remembered for that in his homeland. So Salah is already becoming a legend in Egypt and also at Liverpool as well. And Liverpool have always had a very large fan base in Egypt, according to this guy. And since Salah joined, it has definitely increased. Many Egyptian fans have followed Salah around from his time at Chelsea to Roma and now to Liverpool. And when Mo plays for Liverpool, Egypt as a country stops to watch at cafes, bars and in their homes. The Champions League final was aired everywhere, with so many sporting clubs putting up large screens for Salah's fans. And that's very, very good to hear, and I'm just so happy that Salah now has like a cult following in Egypt, and that's very, very good news. Another good transfer news is that Danny Ings completed his £20 million move to Southampton. Now that's permanent. He signed a 3-year contract, and for Liverpool to sell Danny Ings for 20 million, he was on a season-long loan at Southampton, but for Liverpool to sell him for 20 million is a brilliant bit of business, because remember that Danny Ings was out injured for almost all of his full season. So Danny Ings was out injured for almost 1 year at Liverpool, and he didn't make a lot of appearances, he didn't score a lot of goals for Jurgen Klopp's side. But to get 18 million for him, plus a further 2 million in add-ons related to appearances, that's brilliant. And also we have a 20% sell-on clause in Danny Ings' contract, which means that if Southampton ever decide to sell Danny Ings, which could be a possibility, we get 20% of the next transfer fee as well. So this could become even 25 million potentially, or 23 million or something like that. For a fringe player, for a backup striker, for Liverpool to get 20 million, huge credit goes to Michael Edwards, who has been playing absolute blinders in the transfer market. And I have a lot of respect for Danny Ings, because he worked very hard to come back from his 1 season long injury, and now he's banging in the goals for Southampton as well. And Danny Ings said, "It feels good, obviously being here for a season already. I felt like it was very up and down for me personally, with a few niggles and small injuries, and that was off the back of not having a strong pre-season going into the season. Now I've signed permanently, I feel great. I've looked after myself over the summer, and I'm just raring to go for the new season. Personally, it's a big season for me. I feel like it's my most exciting, really. The last few years have been very up and down for me, but now I've looked after myself over the summer. I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully great things can come from it." So it looks like Danny Ings is super, super motivated to go into next season and just prove to everyone that he is a very good Premier League striker. And I really hope that Danny Ings scores like 10 or even maybe 15 goals next season. And now let's talk a little bit about Rafa Benitez, who slammed the Newcastle owner Mike Ashley. He broke his silence for the first time after he left Newcastle, and it was a really, really heartbreaking exit for Rafa Benitez, because he had no choice but to leave. He said that he would only stay at Newcastle if he was allowed to compete with other clubs in the transfer market, and he wasn't even asking for a huge amount of money. He was just asking for Newcastle not to be the smallest spenders in the whole Premier League. Newcastle have the lowest net spend in the whole Premier League for the last 3 years, which is disgraceful in my opinion, considering how many fans they have. They have 55 1,000 people every home game. And this is what Rafa Benitez said: "I wanted to stay, but I didn't just want to sign an extended contract, I wanted to be part of a project. Unfortunately, it became increasingly clear to me that those at the top of the club did not share the same vision. I'm very sad about that, but I do not regret for one moment my decision to come to Newcastle, and I'm very proud about what we achieved together." That's so heartbreaking. So Newcastle didn't have the ambition that Rafa Benitez had. All Rafa Benitez wanted is to have a chance to build a side who could challenge for European places, who could have a good cup run in the League Cup, in the FA Cup, who could consistently finish in the top 10 in the Premier League and maybe push for the Europa League places. Because remember that if the League Cup and the FA Cup is won by a team in the top 6, which is most seasons that happens that way, even 7th place qualifies for Europe in the Premier League. And Newcastle, with good investment and a world-class manager like Rafa Benitez, who won the Spanish league title twice against Real Madrid and Barcelona, with Valencia, don't forget that. He won the Champions League with a very average Liverpool side, and I'm saying that as a Liverpool fan. We had Jimmy Traore at the back, for crying out loud. And also he won the Europa League with Chelsea as well. So he won trophies everywhere he went. And it's a shame that Newcastle just doesn't have the ambition. I mean, not the fans, but the owners, especially Mike Ashley, didn't have the ambition of Rafa Benitez. It's such a shame. I wish him all the best, and I hope that he does well at his next club, which could be a Chinese club, Dalian Yifeng. I really hope Rafa Benitez doesn't go to China. It increasingly looks like that way, but I want him to go to another Premier League club and try to break the top 6 or something like that. What a story that would be. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys. Goodbye.